You know, there's this incredible journey that so many people embark on, memorizing the Quran. But there's a part of it, a really big part, that we don't often talk about, the hidden struggle. We all start with this perfect plan in our heads, but the reality? It's way, way different. So today, let's actually get into that.
So, this is what we think it's going to be like, right? On the left, a nice, clean, straight shot to the finish line. Simple. But then, there's the reality. That messy scribble on the right, that's what it actually feels like. It's got loops, it goes backwards, it has ups and downs, and honestly, understanding and accepting that messy scribble, that's the whole secret. All right, so let's dive right into that. The dream versus the reality. It all starts with the expectations we set for ourselves and how they crash into what the journey actually demands.
So what's the very first thing most of us do when we decide to start Hifz? We pull out a calculator. Yep, we turn this profound, beautiful spiritual journey into a math problem. We try to box it all up with pages and days and deadlines.
And it usually looks a little something like this, doesn't it? You go, okay, there are 604 pages. If I just do one single page every day, I'll be done in 604 days. Wow, less than 2 years. It looks so neat, so achievable when you write it down like that. But here's the one tiny little question that perfect equation completely ignores. What about the days you just can't? The days when life happens, when you get sick, when you're overwhelmed with work, or you're just not feeling it. That's where the whole perfect plan begins to unravel. And this brings us to what I think is the biggest hurdle, the calculation trap. It's kind of crazy, but being obsessed with the numbers, with the page count and the deadline is often the very thing that makes people quit.
Because the real journey, well, it looks a lot more like this. You're going to have days where, for no reason at all, the words just won't stick. You might have entire weeks where your focus is completely gone. And that leads to that sinking feeling that you've fallen off the wagon for good. We forget that so much of this is just not in our control.
And check this out, this is such a powerful insight. The most dangerous time, the point where most people give up, is right when they're on the edge of a breakthrough. You get so frustrated with how hard it is at the beginning that you stop right before you build the momentum that makes everything easier.
So, okay, if counting pages is the trap, then what on earth is the solution? Well, it takes a total shift in your mindset. You have to let go of the numbers and instead focus on building one single thing, the power of momentum.
Now, what do we even mean by momentum? It's not just about speed. It's this incredible state you get into where memorizing actually starts to feel easier. And, this is the crucial part, your desire to do it, your want, grows so much stronger than how hard it felt at the start.
So how do you get there? Well, first, you just have to accept it. The beginning is hard. It just is. But if you can push through that initial wall, it gets, and I'm quoting here, way, way easier. Then a little magic happens. Your desire to memorize actually starts to grow. And pretty soon, the progress itself becomes the fuel that keeps you going. It's a beautiful cycle.
This chart shows it perfectly. Look at that first bar. At the start, the difficulty feels like it's through the roof. It's like you're pushing a giant boulder uphill. But look what happens over time as you build that momentum. The difficulty just plummets. Seriously, the effort it takes to memorize a page when you're in that flow state is just a fraction of what it was on day one.
And when you hit that state of momentum, something really profound happens. The journey stops being this thing that you do, and it starts becoming a part of who you are.
It's a complete mental shift. It's not another task on your to-do list anymore. It just becomes a part of your mind's landscape. The verses you're revising, the new lines you're learning, they're just there, humming along in the background of your thoughts.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Always in the back of my mind? That sounds kind of exhausting. But here's the thing. When you're actually living it, it's not a burden. It's not a chore. It's truly, deeply beautiful.
I mean, think about it this way. Our minds are going to be filled with something, no matter what. So what would you rather have in there? This profound sense of purpose, or all the random, forgettable nonsense we scroll through every day? All that content that serves no real purpose and just vanishes from our memory 2 seconds later.
So let's bring it all home. The main takeaway here is not that you'll reach some perfect state where you never struggle again. No, the key is learning to embrace the natural ebb and flow of the journey.
And this is so, so important to hear. Even after you've built that momentum, even when you feel like you're flying, you are still going to have low points. You'll have off weeks.
In fact, the person sharing this advice was very open about being in a low themselves. That's how normal it is. It's part of the process.
And this is the final reassurance we all need to hear. It is completely 100% natural to have times where everything is going great and then to hit a low. The journey is a wave. The goal isn't to avoid the lows, it's just to understand that they're a normal, expected part of the path.
So we'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. What if we reframe the entire thing? What if the point isn't just to finish, to get to that final page and check a box? What if the real purpose is to be fundamentally transformed by the process itself, by the struggle, by the momentum, by all the highs, and yes, even by the lows?